Oh wait, no, drop a win in the comment. People are putting win in the comment. Drop a win in the comment. Drop like something that was good today. Good, bad, different. Business, life, whatever. Okay. All right. So we're going to piggyback off of what vision casting was this morning. If you didn't catch it, it was about awareness. And we actually have Autumn. Could you drop the link in the chat? We, Autumn and Raquel, really felt super passionate to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to catch the vision castings. And we know that in the morning with people working full-time jobs and even in the evening can be kind of tough. And so they created a YouTube channel and they are sharing the prompts of the vision casting to this YouTube channel. So it's just another resource for you guys. You guys can share it with your newbies. You can do it if you've missed it. You can do it again if you just feel like you want to, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to be another resource for you. So we talked about awareness, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this and like how it really makes a difference in our business every single day. And I think that giving yourself an opportunity to be aware. So Autumn said this morning that like by speaking to yourself differently, by changing the way that you think, how you talk to yourself, you can actually change the composition of your brain. Like you can actually change scientifically the things in your brain by speaking to yourself better, creating those goals, putting the affirmations out there. And I think that being aware, is actually what will make your paycheck. That's how much I believe that self-awareness is something that can like literally propel you for. And you think about it, like we're in a business of branding ourselves. We're in a business where people buy us before they buy the product. And if you're not aware of yourself, how are you going to brand yourself? And there's an idea that like you come in and you can be ignorance on fire, right? Like you're going to come in, you're going to do the things and you're not going to totally know what's going on or what you're doing, but like you're just coming in hot and all that stuff. And that's great. That gets the experience under your belt. That gets to show you that what we're putting in front of you works. It gets the thrill out of it, like that, like, whoa, I got a green box, or like, I mean, drop it too in the comment. I don't care how long you've been in the business. When you get that connect notification of like, woohoo, so-and-so joined your team, I'm like, yes, it's the best feeling in the world. So, but, and all of that experiences, like all of the things that you aren't emotionally attached to, Carly mentioned this in KPI training, like detach yourself emotionally from the tasks, right? Because you got to just do them. But being aware of yourself is what is going to allow retention in this business. And I don't know about you guys, but like, I want longevity. Drop a 3 in the comment if you want to be doing this for longer than 2 to 3 years and you want to make a stable income for years to come, because that's what I want in this business. And so ignorance on fire lasts just a certain amount of time, but then it comes down to like the real work. And being in almost 5 years, I can tell you that that's the work that people don't do that walk away. They're not doing the work that happens here and like happens here. And being aware and having self-awareness is going to be one of those things that like truly can write your paycheck. I heard on a call years ago, maybe 2 years ago, that what we have in front of us right now is, sorry, I'm admitting people. What we have in front of us is self-development with a compensation plan. And so the more that you develop your mind and the more that you heal your heart and you kind of walk through that ugliness that like we've all got going on, the more your paycheck is going to rise, because that's the level of your mindset. And when we talk about mindset, when we talk about self-development, like I wish it was as easy as just reading something and then moving on. But like we've talked about that too, right? Like we've talked about doing the self-development. And if you're not implementing it, you're basically wasting your time. But implementing it makes you uncomfortable. And implementing it can bring a lot of ugly feelings to the head. And our bodies go into fight or flight. And most people run whenever they feel uncomfortable. And you may not even know that you're physically doing it or mentally doing it, but your body's doing it because that's been your coping mechanisms and that's been the way that you handle things this entire time. But we know, and we are in an opportunity that we will literally get paid if we work on that. I want to drop a bomb on you guys. Okay. I listened, I was doing a little bit of prep for this, and I came across this Gilmore Girl episode. And she's sitting there, and the main character is talking to somebody, and I'm pretty sure it was Morgan Freeman, but I don't know. But it's something that since hearing it hasn't left me. So he was talking to her, and he was like, well, let me just preface it with this. Write down or take note, like 2 or 3 things that you pray for. What's 2 or 3 things that you genuinely pray for? Okay, I'm going to give you a second. Like when you're like, backs against the wall, at rock bottom, like what are you praying for? And so this episode was like, all right, if you pray for courage, is God going to give you courage, or is he going to give you an opportunity to be courageous? If you pray for patience, is God going to give you patience, or is he going to give you an opportunity to be patient? If you, in this example with the thing, it was like about relationships. If you want a closer relationship with somebody, is he just going to give you that close relationship, or is he going to give you an opportunity to get close to people? Right? I know as a mom that I pray for patience almost every single night. And the next day, my kids are freaking monkeys, and I'm like losing my SHIT, and I'm ending the night again being like, God, I need patience. And he's like, sis, I gave you literally umpteen times to be patient today. Like, when we ask for something, when we set our goals, God isn't going to just deliver that cake, but he may give you the eggs and the flour and the butter and the sugar, but it doesn't look the way that we want it to look. So like, we're just like, what? Like, God, I asked for the freaking cake and you're dropping flour on me? Like, I don't want that shit. I want the cake. Like, that's what I want. It's not going to come like that. And we don't get to see that opportunity. We don't get to have that opportunity. We don't get to become that opportunity if we're not aware, right? Like self-awareness, like being aware. So if you're asking for something and you're setting goals and you're putting yourself in an opportunity to grow, and then not being aware of what is being presented at you, then we're not self-aware. And that's what I want to challenge you on. Here's what else I want to challenge you on. How do you react when you're angry? How do you react whenever you're embarrassed? How do you act when you're anxious? How do you act when you're joyful? All of those things are immediate, right? And a lot of us just run off of that. A lot of us just run on the fact that, like, I feel that way. And so automatically you take that as truth. But you know what? Our hearts and our heads fool us. They fool us. They stray us, right? They lead us off a true north. And so realizing how you act in realizing how you act in certain situations, and being able, like right now, like while I'm talking, write down anger, embarrassed, exposed, joyful, and anxious, or whatever, a combination, and write down how you act. Do you have a short fuse? I do. Bet you, like, maybe you guys, I have a short fuse, like big time. Look at my nails. When I'm anxious, look, I'm shaking because I'm all pumped up. When I'm anxious, this is what this looks like. That's how my anxiety pulls out. So pay attention to how you're reacting. Pay attention. And that's just what it is, isn't it? It's a reaction. And I don't know about you, but I grew up very, like, I had anger issues as a kid, and I would react so quickly at people and my parents and things like that. And then I felt embarrassed, and then I felt shame, and it was just like blah, 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 this awful vicious cycle. And it wasn't until I stopped reacting. I let it come. I felt that wave of anger, and then I readdressed the situation on where I was at. And that is why I am able to be calm, collected as an adult, because I wasn't always like that. I shared a quote the other day on my story because I read it from somewhere else and I couldn't believe it. Most of the time, the way somebody is because they've been through hell before. So you want to come across somebody that's kind and understanding and empathetic. That person probably had to go through some fire in order to change their behavior and be aware of themselves in order to react that way. Self awareness allows us to truly change. But self awareness takes a lot of balls because it's not easy to look at yourself and be like, yeah, that's not good. Or like, ooh, I could change. That's not easy to do that. Nobody likes to do it. But look, there's 35 of us that are doing it day in and day out for each other. And when you do that, everything grows because we always like drop a 4 in the comment if like you have this version of yourself in your head, right? Like this version, like this confident, like I would send messages like this, like I would enroll like this, like I would talk like this, I would look like this, I would dress like this, all the things, right? That version in your head. Sisters, you're not going to get there if you don't self-address, and you're not going to get there if you're not self-aware. You've got to be real. You've got to be able to look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I not where I want to be? Because you're the only person that's going to do it. And we are in a business that we get paid to brand ourselves. And you are going to increase your check, increase your team, increase your enrollment, the more self aware that you get, because that's authenticity. That's what that is. And so when we talk about the fact that nobody can be you more than you, and there could be 17 at work girls all in your town and you can get the sales, that's authenticity, because people can read through it. And eventually people will catch on if you're not doing the work. And so self-awareness, I think, is one of these, like doing this topic, I've got loads of notes. I can't help it. Like I just started snowballing on like what self-awareness does, but self-awareness brings the real change. That's my notes. So not only will it bring the real change, but it creates empathy. It creates empathy to say, I've been there. I've been there. I've been angry. I've been anxious. I've been joyful. I've been money hungry. I've been whatever, fill in your blank, right? And then that's a quality of a leader. That's a quality of a leader then to come to their team and be like, yes, sis, I've been there. I know what that feels like. And this is what I did. These are the tools that I got. That's leadership. And that's a quality that you get from being self-aware. Certain things in other aspects, being real with yourself on your KPI. Are you saying you're doing 10 out of 10, but really only doing 7 out of 10? Are you saying that you're getting host to post up every day, but you're really not? That takes self-awareness. But when you do that, and when you get real with yourself and say, like, Katlyn, like, get real. You're not getting host to post up. And that's why you're not enrolled. Host to post isn't the only way to enroll. I mean, just preface this, but like you're not doing your host post. Okay, well, that's probably why your enrollments are down. When my enrollments are down, anxiety sets in. And then I can like literally be on my phone for 12 hours a day because I have to get off the fact that like enrollments are my immediate gratification and make me feel like I'm doing a good job and like all of that. But I'm able to recognize that because I'm self aware. And I'm able to recognize that because I'm like, okay, you're not. And instead of getting angry and instead of pointing my finger and instead of being like, I can say, just get your host to post up, sis. Eat the frog, right? Eat the frog. If you don't know what eat the frog is, Autumn talked about it on a vision casting a couple weeks ago. Obviously, frogs are gross. And that's the point, because you eat the frog and you eat like the worst part of your day, right? And so then it's done and it's over with. Like when you eat the frog, it's done and it's over with. So get it out of the way. So be real with yourself about KPI. Be real with yourself. Another one that I wrote down, customer care. I do a really great job at building relationships. And then I can have really crappy customer service. And that's being super real with myself and transparent with y'all. So customer care, do you do it? Do you talk to the people after you enroll them? Connect makes it super simple. There's literally no reason why this isn't just like something I'm super strong at, but it's not. But that also creates anxiety because then I'm like, oh, I don't want to touch base with people because now it's been like a month and I haven't talked to them, or like, and what I'm really doing is shooting myself in the foot because every single time that somebody completes their 90 days, I should be asking them into the business. I should be asking every single customer that completed their 90 days with me into the business. Why? Because they already have the product testimony. They've already committed. They're probably in love with the company because we're the best, and they love our products because they're the best. Wouldn't they be like legit the best to ask into the business? But when my customer care is like, sorry, I literally got a message and it said friendly and I said friendly. When my customer care is crappy and I'm not real with myself, then that just snowballs. And I don't know about you, but if I'm not real with myself, the other thing that I do, if I don't deal with it, then I avoid it. And when you avoid it, you isolate yourself. That's where fear and doubt creeps in really quick. That's where the enemy gets to like tell you all the things that like you're nervous that it's true about yourself, you know? And the devil has like a really great way of like making you believe that you're saying it instead of him saying it. Like that's a tactic and that's why he runs here. Like being self-aware, that will sound like a foreign voice inside your head. Let me tell that again. When you're self-aware and when you're talking to yourself and you're changing the composition of your brain and the enemy comes in and tries to tell you that, girl, you look like crap today. Nobody wants your stuff. Everybody thinks you're a freak. MLMs are for losers, blah, 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 all that stuff. It doesn't sound like your voice. It sounds like the enemy. And then you tell him, not today, Satan. You say, not today, Satan, because he sounds like a foreigner in your head. And you're like, like I recognize that voice. That's not my voice. That's your voice. And it's not truth. And so, okay. Let's talk about this too. How, drop a 5 in the comment if you do this. You get pumped up. Woo, great day. Yes. Write my goals down. Awesome. Don't look at them again. Don't look at your goals again. Don't have them in front of your face. You write them down, you unload all your stuff and all the things that you want to get done that day, and you shut that notebook and you just set it to the side and you won't ever look at it again. That's also being aware. What goals are you writing and what are you doing to follow through on them? What goals are you writing down and what actions are you taking to get there? That's also being self-aware. That's also asking yourself, what are my patterns, right? Are you a goal writer and not necessarily then anybody to let anything to like do it, you know, like you'll pick up your own patterns, especially if you start to pay attention. Like, I mean, that's me to a T. Like I literally have to rip out. Okay, sorry, something fell in my house. I was waiting for tears, but they didn't come. Like I literally rip out my notebooks and they're everywhere. My son said that he was talking about it in school and they had to say something about their mom and or like a I don't know, they were reading like a story or something like that. And he was like, my mom has like notes everywhere in the house. There's notes everywhere in the house. But there's notes on our doors, there's notes above our light switches, there's notes on my cabinets, there's notes above my coffee bar. A great place is by your toilet paper because you're looking there every day. Self-awareness might single-handedly be the motor in our business after the ignorance on fire, right? Like you can literally change so much. And if you like, even think about it like this, go to your profile, and look down. What does it look like? Be aware of what your page looks like. Are you an advertisement? Is it 7 It Works posts in a row with none of your life in between? Be aware of that, right? Be aware that that's not what we're teaching you to do. We don't want you to be an It Works robot. We want you to be Harley. We want you to be Jocelyn. We want you to be Roxanne. We want to see who you are. We want to see how this amazing business is incorporated into your life. But like, I want to see Harley be her country girl. I want to see, you guys do the things that you love to do and hang with your kids and eat your food and go your places and like all the things. I want to see that. So does everybody else. Don't think for a second. And let's talk about this real quick. Don't think for a second that your mess needs to be hidden. Don't think for a second that your flaws need to be something that like, oh, you just like hold back. No, mm-mm, not for a second. Because what makes us and what makes us tick is everything, right? And usually the suffering that we've been through has created the people that we are now. And maybe you're like me and didn't have great coping skills as a teenager and early 20s, because I had self-destructive coping mechanisms and not ones that got me, but able to be self-aware and able to address myself. I've been able to change that. I've been able to change that. And I've been fortunate enough to be in a business and have an opportunity and have the vehicle that I do, that it has allowed me to get to a place that I am healthy enough in my life that I'm able to unpack that shit. And I want you guys to unpack. You're safe here. This is safe. Like this business, this stability, this opportunity, it's a safe place for you to unpack. So don't think for 1 second that your mess needs to be hidden, because your mess is probably your most relatable part. Your mess is what are going to get people to look at you and be like, well, shit, if Michelle can get through what she's been through and say yes to an opportunity to a business and put herself out on social media every single day and start enrolling these customers and start building a team and start promoting to Ruby and Emerald and Diamond, and now her life looks completely different than who I knew in high school, I can do that too. And it may not be people here's where we genuinely are influencers, guys. It may not be that she joins your business, but it may be from Michelle's journey that Samantha is going to go and start her blog because she saw you step up and work through it. It's a mess, guys. It's messy. It's not going to look like a straight line. It's not supposed to. Okay? It's not supposed to. And anything worth having and anything that allows a woman in this day and age to make $500, $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month is not going to come easy. Drop a 6 in the comment. It's not going to come easy. It's not supposed to be easy. So show up and do the hard work. And I'm telling you that this self-awareness piece in your business and in your life, it'll change things. It'll empower you. It'll give you confidence. And in the end, you will start to turn into that beautiful version of yourself that you wrote down earlier in the evening. You're going to walk more confidently. You're going to talk more confidently. You're going to wear the freaking outfit that you want to wear. You're going to dye your hair lavender. You're going to start talking like the girl that you want to be. You're going to start enrolling like the person that you think that you have to be, but you're going to become that person, because when you do the work, y'all, when you do the work, it pays off. And you're going to start recognizing the eggs and the flour and the butter, and you're going to start mixing. And then he's going to drop something else and you're going to keep mixing. And then he's going to drop something else and you're going to keep mixing. And before you know it, that cake's going to be in front of you and you're going to be like, holy shit, this is what I prayed for. But it didn't come the way that you thought, right? It didn't come all packaged. You had to do it together. And you know what else this takes? It takes faith before evidence comes. Whew. It takes faith with just enough light for one more step. You may not have light for 6 steps. I recently trusted God. I recently trusted God, and I put 2 feet in the boat and he put a motor on it and it took off. And it's really scary. But I feel it's okay. It's like, it's okay. I'm in the boat now. I have no turning back. and I'm empowered by it. And because I'm empowered by it, and because I do the work, you guys, I can sit here and act like a fool and have sweaty pets on Zoom, and I can talk to you guys and I can tell you this because that's what happens. You become different. You act differently, you talk differently, you walk differently. And every single one of you is worthy of that. Every single one of you is capable of it. And I pray. That's what I encourage you guys. That's what we do. This is what we do. And then we get paid for it. You start doing this, you're going to put commas in your checks. You start doing this, you're going to promote to diamond. You start doing this, you're going to start enrolling diamonds. And then you're going to make cabs. And then everything's going to be like, holy cow. I don't even know who I was. I don't even know who I was 6 months ago. Because that's what happens when you do the stuff that people aren't willing to do. And people that work 9 to 5 corporate jobs, they don't get paid to do this. That's why they're shells of themselves. Not everybody, I'm not talking about everybody, but some people. They go in, they clock out. There's no passion, there's no love. And you know what? Very rarely do you have somebody that works a 9 to 5 and feels all of that and then goes home and does really something passionate after work. Nope. But look at us, all of us, because we're badasses, because we're like women. We said yes to an opportunity and you've already changed your life. And because you show up in an opportunity that you're passionate about and you got to push yourself and you got to have sweaty armpits and like you got to push yourself and make yourself uncomfortable and all these kind of things, that trickles to every part of your life, not just the business. You can't turn it off, right? It's not a switch that you turn off. That goes into your parenting, that goes into your marriage, that goes into friendships, that goes into all sorts of things. And then you start walking around and talking and looking and people are like, what is up with her? God, she's just like, whoa. And people are going to know as soon as you walk into a room that you're different. And it's because of work like this. And I can't wait to have you guys start implementing it because it's a really beautiful thing. And I don't know if anybody has ever dealt with being unworthy or feeling like they're not good enough or not the right size or not the right this or not the right that. All of it dissipates when you start to be aware, because as much as you're going to find the ugly, you're going to find the good, and you're going to find the things that you're really good at. And you're going to find the things that like you think differently than other people, and you're able to communicate differently than other people, and you're able to act and all the things differently than other people. So don't think that this journey is going to be like, oh, bad. It's not. But also, I want to encourage you that your suffering is not here for no reason. It's not because you deserve it or because you're being punished or because you've made mistakes or like all that stuff. Your suffering is put in front of you so that you can walk through it. And your suffering is there to make sure that like you're not supposed to be doing it alone, not without this team and not without whoever you believe in, right? I'm going to say God, but whatever, like it's there to show that you're not supposed to do it on your own. You are supposed to have faith and you are supposed to be walking through and depending and giving your worries over to him, because at the end of the day, we're not meant to handle it all on our own. So be brave, because everything that will come from it will be worth it. And your story, Saranda, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it Saranda, like your story and Sarah's story and Danny's story and Kate's story and Kayla's story, they're all going to inspire different people. And they're all going to bring people that relate to you into your journey. And that's where your teams start building. And that's where your enrollment start growing. And that's where you start getting teams like the size of Sam Bowers. Because you're real and you're authentic and people know it. And you're not faking it. You're not, saying that you're doing things and expecting people to believe that and then not do them. That's where it comes from. It's 8:31. Whew. Okay. I'll lock it up. Y'all, I'm so inspired by this topic. I'm so inspired to start my day and be more and more and more aware, especially that piece of if you've asked God for something, start looking for the opportunities where you can use what you've been asking for. Start using the things that are coming into your life, and they're probably not going to be super comfortable situations, right? But they're coming to you for a reason. And that's where we can like really feel that there is something bigger working. We all know that when we join this, you're a part of something bigger, and that's where you get to experience it. Okay. Is there anything that Is there anything that anybody would like to share? Is there anything that you guys want to go over or talk about, or anything that I missed that we kind of covered? Any of my leaders? I got all my notes. We're right after this with Ange Miller. So if you guys want to stay on and work till 9:30 with us, that would be great. There was something else that I wanted to, there was something else I wanted to share. Like it must have been a lie. I don't know.
Hey, Kate, can I say something?
Yeah.
So I was reading a devotional part, and in the book it talks about our blessings and how sometimes we want certain things or goals or whatever to happen like right now, right this minute. Like we didn't reach our goal, we get mad that we didn't get that goal, but sometimes there's a reason we don't get that. Sometimes there's a reason we have to be in the process, in the journey, whether it's ups and downs, highs and lows. Because if you were to get that blessing right now, if I was to get triple diamond right now, I might not be ready for triple diamond. That blessing will then turn to a burden, and it will hold me back or get me down or get me in and out of the business or whatever it might be. So just whatever your journey is or whatever your goal is, and if you're not there yet, just know that like enjoy the journey, enjoy the moment, like take it in, try to learn from it, try to grow from it, and grow like to something that you want. So like be the triple diamond that you want to be, so that way when you get there, that blessing is a blessing, not a burden.
Okay. That's good. That's real good. That's awesome. Is there anything else that anybody wants to share? I don't want to cut into power hour for sure. I just want to make sure, because I literally talked for 30 minutes straight and didn't even feel it. So I apologize about that. I just kind of went off.
No, you know what? I messed up. I said after power hour, and then we said 9. So I messed up. I don't know.
Okay, so technically, well, we can stay on and just work through, and that would be okay. We can do 9 to 10. Yeah, and if you guys aren't catching vision castings, or if you're able to catch the prompts, like really do so. It really does change. Like that's where a lot of this inspiration came from, and being able to kind of work it out in like a therapeutic kind of way got me pumped up to talk about this. And then this topic is also going to be incorporated into new distributor training. And it's just really cool that we're able to like content plan and get this all together, and like everything kind of like rules together. I'm really like inspired by it all. Success Squad, I have a hand up. Is there somebody that wants to?
It's me.
Oh, hey.
Hi. I just wanted to talk for like a quick second when you were talking about the vision castings and if people are missing them. Raquel and I have worked really hard and talked about this for a while, because we know so many people have wanted to get on vision castings, and we can't do them all the time, unfortunately. So we decided that we were going to bring them to you on that YouTube channel that she was talking about. So that's where all of our trainings are going to be on. But the vision casting is also going to be on there. So we're not like recording us doing vision casting. We're actually going on and giving you like a one-on-one breakdown of the topic that we're talking about, and then we give you the prompts. So each video is like 5 to 6 minutes, and they'll be uploaded every single day as soon as we're done with the vision casting. And then if for some reason there's weeks where that we can't do them, they'll have like a whole section on YouTube where you guys could just go and access them. And if there's people that are on your team that are unsure of vision casting, or I mean, when I first started and Raquel first started this business, if someone told me to get in self-development, I was like, yeah, okay. So if you have people on your team that are kind of experiencing that same thing, send them one of the videos, send them a 5-minute video and say like, hey, this is like, just check this out and see what happens. Because I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Maybe they'll get comfortable enough that they join us for vision casting or whatever. So just so you guys know, you will have that resource available to you at all times.
I love it. I do. I think so too. I think most of us come in and think it's a little voodoo-y or like, ooh, I'm not sure. But it really, I mean, there's a reason why so many successful people do it. And there is like, even the vision casting that we did today, like we were able to write things down and then let them go. And like, there's power in writing it down and letting it go. Like as much as you might be just running on things in your brain, like there is power in writing it down and letting it go. So we do encourage you guys. I'm so thankful. Thank you guys for getting on. And those posted on Success Squad. Yes, they're all posted on that YouTube channel. That's where they're going to go. Yeah. So thanks guys for getting on. We had a big crowd on tonight, so I appreciate that. And then we'll just go right into working, and then